Ba, ba, ba. Do you know in the last episode that I just put on, we didn't do our intro? I was like, these hoes.
We didn't say.
No.
Oh my God.
We started talking about how we were both very, very mentally ill. Then we were like, so anyway.
Yeah. I had ants for a while. They're dormant right now. They're sleeping.
That's good.
Although I had one a second ago. A second ago meaning 2 days ago.
Oh. About what?
I was going to start my work day at 11. And so I didn't open my work laptop until 11 because there was an all-staff meeting.
Yeah.
And there was a meeting directly before it that I missed.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, and so I told you in that episode it takes almost nothing for them to come out and be like, you stupid brat bitch, and they start mollywopping me. So yeah, that's what happened. And then, I was looking for some bridges, but then
Everything was good?
everything's fine.
Well, good.
I mean, and turns out it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That makes me happy for you.
I feel like you're nervous about the sound.
I am. I'm trying to adjust based off our levels, but I think it's good. Do like a scream.
Ah!
We're good.
Okay. Rip to your ears.
Mine are okay.
Mine are fine.
Okay, great. Rip to their stereo speakers.
Right. It's not staying.
No, it's not. But I'm glad your aunts are good. How are your uncles? We're back.
And deader than ever.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Tamara.
And this is
Ghoul
Beans. That was actually an amazing joke.
How the hell are you, kid?
I am good. Things are getting better. And my mindset's getting better. We both just looked at each other and shrugged. Like,
be real.
Yeah.
Be so fucking for real right now.
My mindset's getting better. It's called character development. I'm developing.
Mm-hmm. Your frontal lobe is fully forming.
Yes. I am strengthening my trauma muscles. She's resilient.
They're in the hips, they say.
I know. Do you know how many times I've wanted to release
Somatic.
the trauma? I don't know how. Do you know how?
Yeah.
Will you teach me after this?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you're going to tattoo me.
Yeah! The literal seashell that you sent me.
That's crazy.
I had it already screenshotted because I was like, this is cute. I want this.
I literally looked up shell with pearl. And that one, well, that's not the one that came up number one.
Yeah.
Because I figured you're in the beginning stages of tattooing. You probably don't know how to shade.
Girl, don't ask me to shade.
No, and I wouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Not yet.
It's criminal at this point.
Oh, okay. It's like, I would be upset, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. For the pod, Kelly is very artistic, so you can draw.
Yeah.
It's just like, obviously, there's a whole other layer of a needle being the drawing instrument.
Yeah, it's so different. And, I've been doing it on practice skin. I have so many practice skins you can look at. Because I was like, they're my flash sheets. I'm like, if you see any of this, you now have proof I can do it.
Right.
So, and it's different, even from the fake skin to real skin, you know? And everyone's skin is different. So it really is about being adaptable. But listen, if this is, my first tattoo is faded. So now, the little dandelion things look like penises.
I've never noticed.
I'll show you, yeah. I can show you right now. Pause.
Is it the stem of the dandelion?
No, it's...
Oh. They look like...
Just like a
missiles.
Pile of penises floating through my ankle.
It looks like nuclear bombs. It's honestly still a statement. That was your first one, and that's a big one, actually.
It's really big. So, yeah,
mine's behind my ear.
That's the thing is,
it's kind of my neck.
I like your first one, though.
No, me too, but I'm saying, that's a bold choice.
And you know what? It's after that, I'm at least for a bad or whatever, your first tattoo that you're not going to care about, it's a pretty dope tattoo.
I agree.
Know? If Clarence had been my first tattoo and it was even Clarence, I can look at it and see wavy lines or whatever, and we paid $60 for those tattoos. It's
it ages with you.
Fine. Yeah.
You know you're paying for something that potentially won't look good in the next 3 years.
Seriously.
No, but
which is really
unfortunate though. Well, What coffee are we drinking today?
Dark matter canned coffee. It's chocolate flavored.
Chocolate City.
Chocolate City, Chocolate City, Chocolate City, beach.
So chocolate.
Yeah. There's a lot of ice meltage in this.
No, but still.
Mm-hmm.
We put cream in it. You gotta understand that I'm gonna put cream in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want cream in it, like, that's jolly and fine.
Honestly, it's not bad.
I know, with the cream in it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be drinking any coffee black. I'm not old enough yet.
Oh my god.
It's
I feel
really
like
good.
It's really good. I feel like I can actually taste the notes. When it's black, I can't taste the notes.
It's just acidy.
Yeah. I don't have a tongue for that.
I don't got a tongue for that, baby.
I have a tongue for so much.
But not
that. Bread?
Ugh.
We talked about bread last episode.
We should do a closed blind taste test for bread.
That's just snacking, really.
That's just me when I lay
Charcuterie
down in the
board
dark
and
and eat my bread.
My assorted breads. Oh my god, I would love that. Like a bag of rolls from everywhere.
Yeah.
What's in your bag of rolls?
The cheddar
Cheesecake
biscuit.
Factory. Right.
Yeah.
And the Cheesecake Factory brown bread.
Yeah.
Olive Garden breadsticks cut in half.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, like a good just French bread with butter on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they all are gonna have butter on it.
No, they're not.
Oh. Great.
French bread with butter on it.
A nice cornbread muffin.
Are you a sweet cornbread girl?
Only when it's in the muffin form.
Okay. I grew up eating non-sweet cornbread, and since then, everywhere has fooled me.
Yeah.
Everywhere has sweet. Why is it sweet?
I don't know.
I have savory, salt only, no sugar cornbread with jalapenos and cheese.
See, I don't think I'll take either. But I do understand the very big disappointment. That's how I feel with sweet potatoes. Like if I have a sweet potato fry, I feel the same. I don't like
Why
that
is
it's
it sweet?
Yeah. Why are we eating it in a fry form if it's sweet?
Right. Certainly there's got to be a way around that.
It's a real potato. Man up. Give me a spud.
Like a fucking adult. The sweet potatoes are for toddlers, and I can't be told otherwise.
I agree. Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato tots.
What are they called? What's it? It's like yam soup. No, casserole. Soup?
Soup. I'm sure there's yam soups, but yams are different than sweet potatoes, no?
Fine. Sweet potato casserole?
Yeah.
Why is it on the dinner table? That's a dessert, you bitch.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Marshmallows. It's a dessert.
It's marshmallows, brown sugar, and
pecans.
I hate sweet potatoes, and everyone's like, no, they're so good. I'm like, I like salty things. They're like, get the fries. No, I'm like eating sugar dipped in salt. I don't like salted caramel. I don't like salted sweet potatoes. I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize. It's Pride Month.
That's right. You guys should apologize because that's definitely a straight white person thing.
I can't when the only option is a sweet potato option. When there's a vegetable medley on the side of something and one of the vegetables is sweet potato.
Why would you choose that over a real potato?
Why don't you just fucking punch me in the face?
You know what? Cancel it. Get me mashed potatoes.
Ooh, mashed potatoes with a little peel in it.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's smashed potatoes.
Fuck me up.
I'll smash them potatoes.
They're a little chunky still. I don't like super creamy.
Me neither.
I want to have a little bite.
Yeah.
So the coffee's really good. It's delicious.
It's so good, actually. I had one that I didn't love, but this one's really good. You can get it in stores, guys. It's canned.
It's a cute little can, too. You can look really cool sipping it, unless you want to put cream in it.
Yeah. Then you've got to drink a little bit and then pour the cream at the top. Do a wrist swirl. And then
it's still not good, and you got to drink a little more and do it again a couple times. Then everybody's looking at you.
Yeah. So drink it at home, ladies and gentlemen.
This episode
is local lore.
Wow.
Local lore.
We've entered Iowa.
Iowa has entered the chat. What's your experience in Iowa? Give me a good story. Give me one experience from Iowa.
Driving to Colorado with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we almost ran out of gas. That was in Iowa.
Okay.
Do you
Love
remember?
that.
It was me
Yeah.
and you in the front seat, and
We
the
were
boys were asleep in the back.
jamming.
Yeah,
And
being
then
very inconsiderate. And then the light for the gas was blinking for so long, probably. And then we panicked and had to go to this shitty little gas station, spooky gas station. And it was during COVID, and Matt wanted to drink the damn gas station
God.
coffee. You were like, you can't drink that coffee.
Yeah, I took it out of his hand and threw it out.
Yeah, it was $1 coffee. He'll live.
Well, and it was like, you have to understand, it was COVID, and they were the only
Iowa.
gas station we found that had like the caps still just chilling there. Like already, those are dirty caps at the best of times.
And no one was wearing a mask other than us.
No.
And we sanitized everything all the time. Like we couldn't exit the car and then come back in without like hand sanding.
That is a good story. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And naming all the swamps in Iowa.
Oh yeah, Lucille.
Bartholomew. Oh, you know what? We went to a really good restaurant in Des Moines when we were driving to you guys.
Yeah.
Not all together.
Where was it?
Des Moines.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
Okay. That's a very good story.
Thank you. And it was delicious. If you go to a beautiful little breakfast restaurant in Des Moines, Iowa, tell them I sent you.
Samra sent me.
Like, what the fuck?
My sister lives in Iowa City, Iowa. One that had the tattoo. She went to school to the University of Iowa, and she works at a restaurant that is very delicious. So shout out Besta in
Shout
Iowa
out.
City. Iowa City. Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to do a little weekend trip to Iowa one of these days.
We should. It's actually really beautiful.
I'm sure there's somewhere with a pool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all my memories from Iowa are visiting my sister. Oh, actually, I have a memory. It was like parents' weekend, and me and my mom went, and we stayed at a hotel, and I got room 1408, and I had just seen the movie. Yeah, it was crazy. My mom literally, they're like, you are booked on the 14th floor, and literally in my head, I was like, as long as it's not 1408, and literally 1408. So that was pretty cool.
And then later you would come to stay at the Congress.
Yeah.
Or that, I believe that room is based off of 1408.
Oh, shit. I think you're right.
Yeah, remember? We tried to get on the 14th floor.
Yeah.
And we were in 1404 or something.
That's so spooky.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy.
And that was truly an experience.
Yeah, that one actually had scary stuff happen. So that's my Iowa story. Now on to a different Iowa story. I'm going to go first.
Go.
Because your stories are always scarier.
I don't know if this one is.
So for my local lore in Iowa, I did the University of Iowa, specifically the dorms.
These are the Hawkeyes?
Yes. Hawkeyes?
I think that might be Iowa State.
No. University of Iowa is the Hawkeyes. Yes. Yes, baby. At first I thought you said hot guys, and I was like, no.
Not during Pride Month.
Certainly not. So the history, like really, really quick history, barely history of the campus is 59 days after the state of Iowa was admitted to the Union, the University of Iowa was founded in 1847. And it started its first classes in 1856. The catalog offered 9 departments: ancient languages, modern languages, intellectual philosophy, moral philosophy, history, natural history, math, natural philosophy, and chemistry. So boring.
Mm-hmm.
2 years later, when the capital of Iowa was moved from this place to Des Moines.
Shout out Des Moines.
Des Moines! Maybe you were in the capital.
Yeah, it's the capital of Iowa.
Yeah, maybe you had breakfast in the capital.
Oh, surely didn't.
Like it's a cute little restaurant.
Yeah.
A lot of government workers were there.
Everyone was in a 3-piece suit for some reason. No, it was like one of those classic
diners.
Like new age brunch spots where that front is white and the name is like one word.
Oh, I actually do know what you're talking about. The university moved into the old Capitol building in Iowa City. They also received their first development, the 10 acres that came with the Capitol building.
Mm.
So that's true. If you've ever been to the Iowa City or the University of Iowa campus, it's beautiful.
Mm.
It's idyllic for sure.
Is it giving like white supremacy?
No, it's definitely giving like, so the campus is the town basically. So I think going to school there would be cool because like it's like we own this bitch.
That's what you said about Minnesota too.
Yeah, but Minnesota is like in the city. So it's like it's really big part of the city, whereas like the university is the city. If that makes sense for
Yeah.
Iowa. Very strange. But cool if you go to school there, I guess. You're like, this is all mine.
I'm sure they feel that way.
They do. And it's very hilly. So Iowa's very
Yes.
hilly.
Every time we drive through Iowa, we're like, and we're going through the rolling hills.
Yeah.
You know, that's because of the iceberg.
Yeah, you were saying something like
yeah,
that.
it's like it's called the driftless area.
Yeah.
And like that portion of the state, like that portion of the country didn't get affected by the Great Lakes iceberg. And so it's like weirdly unaffected. And so it's called the driftless area. Like that iceberg the melt never drifted down there.
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. The campus, you gotta walk up some hills. It's not an easy place to ride your bike, I don't think. According to my sister's stories. So the University of Iowa is regularly recognized as one of the top institutions of higher learning in the country, and over 5,000 courses are offered at the university each year. Law and medicine are two of the most popular areas to study here. March of 1855. Oh, I'm sorry, not March. September of 1855. There were 124 students, of whom 41 were women, because this was like the first year. As of 2020, there are 37,500 total students attending the university, making the college campus a small city where all necessities are provided somewhere on campus. So
that's literally like the size of Algonquin.
Yeah, no, it's huge, and that's literally just the campus. It's crazy. So anyway, that's your very brief history. That's all I care about the college. Just figured it was polite. So there are many places in the university that are haunted. I'm focused on two main
haunts areas.
Residence halls.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you for waiting. So the first one is Slater Hall. The only thing that happened here as far as like the history is a male stroke. A male student died by suicide here by jumping out of the 9th floor lounge in his dorm.
Damn.
Yeah, that's rough. So here are the things that happen in this dorm. A lot of stuff, considering that's like the only notable like death here.
Only known.
That's true. At least like the most talked about. There could be others. Doors to the rooms are rattled at random. Gross. There is a spirit of an RA that is going about her duties and walking the halls of the first floor.
Hey girl,
don't tell on me for this alcohol. There's a spirit of a menacing fat man that lurks around the first floor. He gives off a frightening aura, and people see him lurking and staring at residents.
Oh, that gave me the chills.
Yeah. They even can feel that it's him because they feel like someone's watching them like intensely on the first floor, even if they can't like see him.
Ew, I have chills.
Residents say that he pretends to be an RA.
Ew.
Absolutely horrible.
What the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea.
Like it's like RA.
Ew,
and
probably.
There's nothing there.
Like the fact that he's interacting.
Room check.
He's interacting.
Yeah, I hate that. And I hate that they make note to say that they can feel him.
Yeah.
First
that he like,
they're like, it's him.
Yeah. And they're like,
ooh, I got goosebumps.
Blah. 3 students were playing with a Ouija board and made contact with 2 spirits. One explained that he died unexpectedly in a car crash, and he was a student at the University of Iowa. And the other one just let them know that he was a student at the University of Iowa.
That's a little spookier.
That is.
Because it's
I'm
like...
a student here.
Right. I'm a former student.
Same as that guy.
I mean, that could have been the fat man again.
Ew, probably. And then the most common thing is pretty spooky. It's the spirit of the boy who died by suicide. He's one of the most prevalent entities that is seen here. It is reported that he walks forlornly around the halls. Some people even see him carrying an axe around with him, which I don't know why like that would be happening.
I don't know why he jumped.
So this is the worst part. People often see him replaying his last moments, screaming as he jumps out the window. His footsteps and screams can be heard from anywhere in the building.
I'm going somewhere.
I'll wait.
Okay.
She's back.
So I'm on the first floor and you hear the running steps to the window.
Like,
and then you can like hear somebody screaming and falling.
Yeah. I can't imagine, and I don't want to, and I never want to know it.
I hope this never happens to me.
Correct. Like lying in your bed and all of a sudden you just like hear screaming.
And a thunk.
Oh, not the thunk. Why is he carrying an axe?
I don't know. Well, maybe his job was something.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what I'm trying to say? Maybe
he was a lumberjack?
Firefighter?
Fair.
Maybe a carpenter?
I mean, he was a student.
But maybe he was like, is he vengeful? Like, why did he jump?
I don't know. I think, so the place I got it off of, they say probably like due to stress because of, I think University of Iowa is like in the like top 10 schools.
Non-Ivy League?
Yeah. So I think like, but still, like there's a lot of those schools and yeah, people do get stressed and
there had to be a deeper story here.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean it could be, but like it doesn't.
Ew.
The jumping out the window.
Yeah, and then like imagine you just like come home drunk and you see him in your window.
Ew.
I'd be traumatized.
Right after you like avoid the creepy ghost RA,
fat man.
And you go up to your room, and then this guy just like screams in your face and runs out the window.
He like looks at you and jumps.
Oh my god! I just almost threw up. Actually.
See? And then you're on the bottom floor and you hear the thonk.
Ugh. So that was Slater Hall.
Oh my god!
I wonder what dorm my sister was in. I'll have to ask her
if she had any experiences.
She doesn't really believe in ghosts, which is weird. Courier Hall is the next one. So there is a story that there's 3 female spirits here and 1 male spirit here that people like commonly see. The lore is for the 3 females that sometime ago in Courier Hall's past, 3 young women who shared the same room up in the attic all unknowingly fell in love with the same young man called William, who had led them on, saying that he deeply loved each of them, hoping to get action from one or all 3 of the women. They invited their boyfriends to meet the other friends on the steps of the dorm. Well, it was a deserved nightmare for self-absorbed William. It was an emotional meltdown when the 3 close friends realized that William was playing all 3 of them. He ran away like a coward, and the 3 friends were heartbroken, and in great despair, they killed themselves in their room. And this room is still used as like a dorm room for residents.
You know, with our luck, if we had gone here, we would have both ended up in that room.
That's how we would have met. And be like, do you hear the 3 women that walk around here at night? Or is that just me?
No, this is how a conversation about ghosts starts with somebody that you're not positive believes in ghosts, and you don't have a ghost podcast. So, I don't know if you believe in ghosts or not. But I really felt like my childhood home was haunted, and then that's how you like litmus test it.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah, me neither. We like to see all 3 of them behind them. Like, yeah, those aren't real.
Dude, and then, oh my god, 2 deaths in your dorm. Like, you know you see them at night.
3 deaths.
3
All
deaths.
3 of them.
You know that you see them, like, on your couch and shit. Like, when you're going to the bathroom and you're trying not to look,
That's
shadow
actually
people.
so funny. Someone says something about, like, hating going to the bathroom in here. Because for sure.
Turn the light on, they're in the mirror. Like, there's 3 of them. There's one in your bed, one under your bed.
You literally can't go anywhere because it's not like, oh, well, they're in there.
You gotta be chill with them.
In here. You have to be friends. So, some people actually report that if they were fighting with roommates, that 3 entities would appear to them and, like, give them advice on friendship. Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever heard in your life?
It's giving schizophrenia. It's not exactly giving ghosts to me. The power of friendship.
A mediator?
Mm-hmm.
Just comes out of your
wall. It's 2 RAs and a mediator.
They just appeared to me.
Mm-mm.
Get this
you
girl
open the door.
Residents. You welcomed me in.
People heard you screaming from the 3rd floor.
You gave me this water bottle.
I don't know why you screamed when I flushed the toilet. I asked you where the bathroom was.
I need a
That was a delayed punch.
It really was. It didn't register right away. Residents on the upper floor have reported that their closet doors open and close on their own.
Horrible.
There have been reports of lights flickering. Dressers and desk drawers have been known to slam shut. Unexplained cold spots in chairs, beds, and the hallway have been felt. In my bed, dude.
Like, in my bed.
Do you have no respect for me?
Jesus Christ, I thought we were friends.
Like, I hang out with you in the bathroom.
All the time, against my will, bro. Like, I let you do whatever you want.
Like, do not
get in my bed.
This is my safe space.
Don't get in my fucking bed.
In college, I hated when people would come into your bedroom and put their shoes on your, like, blankets.
I don't know what. I've never experienced that.
Like, they would sit on your bed with their shoes on. You never had people do that?
No.
Wow.
Why were people disrespecting you?
I don't know. They'd be like, they'd come hang out, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, sit wherever, and they'd sit on my bed, totally fine. But then they'd have shoes on, and they'd like put their shoes on my blanket, and I'd be like, you don't understand how much that bothers me.
Ew.
Yeah.
No. That's never happened to me. I would say, like, you can sit on my bed, and they would take their little shoes off.
That's so kind. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd.
I was definitely the type to say, like, take your shoes off, but I've never had to say that.
Take your shoes off.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well. Unexplained cold spots in chairs. People have also reported seeing this man around, and they don't know who it is, but it looks like a concerned father figure walking through the halls and peeking his head into their doors. They say he watches, like, very intensely and, like, just looks very concerned. And people don't seem, like, spooked by him.
It would spook me, but I wouldn't be, like, threatened by him.
Right. But, like, they don't know his story.
He's just there?
Yeah. And, like, there were a ton of stories online where it's like, oh, it's probably someone's dad, and he's concerned that, like, something happened. Like, it could be one of those girls' dads, but, like, why would
it could just be, like, a
there?
dead dad of a student.
Yeah. So these are some real accounts from people who lived in Courier Hall. One resident who lived in the same section of the building that the 3 female spirits died in. She hated going to the bathroom at night, and the elevators would always stop at random on different floors.
That is, like, super, super worst case scenario.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
There was once in McCabe when I was taking the elevator down that it, like, cable clapped. It was like, oh,
I hate that.
And I was, like, almost on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
On the first floor. And then, like, the door didn't. I was alone.
Oh, no.
With my laundry.
No.
The door, like, wasn't opening right away. And I was like, I'm about to have to. First of all, do I get free tuition? And 2.
Only if you were in there for an hour.
I know.
I would be like, I wouldn't
force the doors closed.
I wouldn't call anyone.
I was like, am I gonna have to fucking call the fire department? And then it like juk again, and then the door's open.
That's worst case scenario. At least you were alone though. It'd be nice to have someone in there, but what if it was packed? That'd be worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario is that it snapped on the fucking top floor that I lived on, and
That's
I
fair.
slammed to my death.
That's a pretty bad case scenario. One girl was staying here during summer school, and she would hear women talking in the hallway.
I hate that.
When she would look to see who it was, no one would be there. She reported that items would be moved in her room, even though she hadn't moved them, and her roommate hadn't been there. And her door would lock by herself, so much so that when her roommate and her went down the hall just to grab some food from the vending machines, they came back and their door was completely locked. Hate that.
I never felt haunted at McCabe.
Me. My second one was feeling weird.
Oh, the one I knew you in.
Yeah. Remember? We would talk about it.
The back
Yeah.
of the hallway.
Yeah. A college student was hired to clean up a room on the top floor, and the desk drawer slammed shut by itself just after she had wiped it out. And this other student said that she lived on the 4th floor, and one day she was walking past the vacant room on the 4th floor where the roommates supposedly killed themselves, and there was a binder on the ground, and she was wondering why it was there, so she went to go pick it up, and suddenly it was sucked back up under the door. Oh. Yeah. Hate that.
My nipples just like, dude, I
inverted.
Literally, like, oh my god, I felt like I ate a lemon.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's Courier Hall.
Is no one screaming? I would be screaming.
I have no idea. I would also be screaming. I would be getting a new dorm room.
No, literally.
I
felt like Centennial felt more spooky than McCabe did. Remember when I lived in Centennial?
Yeah, that's because it was so like it felt very vacant in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it was huge.
Yeah, but that's why
Yeah.
I feel like it was like way too big.
With no furniture.
Yeah. It was like, why is this actually? So this could be 2 dorm rooms.
It literally
could be 3, honestly.
Yeah.
So other campus stories that people had. There was a different dorm. It's Quadrangle, and this person saw a ghost when they lived there. It was a young woman dressed in older style dress, and this person saw her and she turned her head towards them and then quickly faded away. She also said that the woman looked like startled when she turned her head. Like she was like surprised to see this person as well, which is weird.
I like that.
Yeah, it gives like timelines. And then she also said that she knew some girls and they both heard a noise in their room and looked up and they saw a mist move from one wall in their room to the other and then dissipated through that wall. And then where that mist went through, the posters on that wall fell. And then I did also get a couple stories from the old Capitol building because
it's important.
Yeah, why not? It's part of the campus. So they just say that it's a constant feeling of being watched in there. Chairs will move on their own in front of you. And in the women's restroom stalls, the stalls open and slam closed on their own, even if you like lock it. Hate that.
I hate that.
Yeah. And then here's a real life account from someone very recently, so I won't say their name, but I got off of Reddit. I've been in Reno. It's a dorm in the University of Iowa. The dorm building where one girl was strangled back in the 70s on floor 3. I'm in the lower floors and occasionally hear strange sounds, such as knocking on my door, and through the peephole I can see the whole hall and it's always empty. Nobody. No footsteps, no voices, nothing. In many cultures, a spirit may knock to be let in, and by opening the door and gesturing or telling them to come in, they make themselves welcome. There's more to this place, but I can't put my finger on it, but something feels really off. Not just the dorm, but some of the surrounding areas. In the last 2 weeks, I have had things occur that I have dreamt about in past years. Things happening, scene by scene. As I've walked the area alongside the woods where the dorm sits, the lights have flickered, and I swear I've seen something watching me, following the wood line. A line of eyes.
I'm following the wood line.
And that's the University of Iowa.
I think that my least favorite was the fact that you can't escape the 3 women.
I think my least favorite is that guy jumping and screaming, and that you can, like, hear his footsteps and screams.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that the picture of the dorm where the 3 women were, like, it is, like, a smaller, like, almost house dorm, I think, from what it looked like. Or at least it's a smaller dorm.
Like,
yeah, I feel like you can't escape it.
You know what? Just thinking about the other residence halls, I do feel like Corcoran is haunted.
It's Corcoran.
We never lived in Corcoran. It was like the freshman hall that you were required to live in. It was like,
it was right next to McCabe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never went in there. I only in,
I've
like,
been
the
in there.
bottom.
I've been in there a couple times. Oh my god! And so was the ones that were like townhomes.
Oh yeah.
No, I've been in those.
Me too.
Those were scary.
Those were weird because the upstairs has the bathtub, like, big enough. It's like a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, surely they knew what they were doing when they put these in here.
Yeah, it was mostly for couples, I felt like.
Girl, no, the bathtub could easily hold 10 people.
Okay,
It
I wasn't one
so
of those.
Weird. Oh my god.
Some of them had the spiral staircase, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that like everybody wanted, and it was like, it had the spiral staircase, but it had like a 3rd floor almost.
Maybe that's the one I saw with this bathtub.
I don't know.
It was crazy. It was a huge bathtub.
You're like,
well, I was looking with Jacqueline, and she was like, I forget.
I was
what
looking with
she
Simone.
said, but she was like, if we got this room, we'd have to share. And I was like, girl, you know I'm not sharing a bedroom with you. And so we didn't end up going there.
Yeah.
I think instead I got an apartment, but it was funny. But the bathtub was dope as hell. I was
like not worth the bathtub though.
It wasn't worth it. I could not room with her.
Yeah.
And then
you know your limits.
Who am I gonna go into like this stranger's room and be like, can I like invite 5 of my closest friends to come take a bath in here?
Because it is a bath.
Because it is a bath, but I am turning it into a hot tub.
Anything's a hot tub if it's hot and water.
Ayo.
Hi. Okay. I'm doing the Vincent House in Fort Dodge, Iowa. In visiting Fort Dodge, Iowa, you can imagine how things looked more than 150 years ago, when the land was sparse and the army was in control. As you stroll around the streets and take in the historic properties, you are likely to learn about how the community sprang from the remnants of the old fort in 1869 and became the spot for the first gypsum mill west of the Mississippi River. I keep thinking, why is everything in the 1800s? Is because we're brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Like there won't be anything from the 1500s because we weren't here yet.
Right.
Well,
we weren't here.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah. The whites weren't here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know, because, my thing was, like, 59 days after, like, Iowa joined the Union, and then it was, like, 1855, and I was like, that doesn't feel like long enough ago.
Yeah. In traveling south on 3rd Avenue, an imposing brick structure stands ominously to your left. Was that the light in the 3rd-story ballroom turned on just a moment before? You can't be certain, but one thing is for sure. You've arrived at the legendary Vincent House, Fort Dodge's oldest building, and absolutely one of its most haunted. Shortly after Iowa became a state in 1846, the Army's 6th Infantry began construction of the fort. This structure, originally called Fort Clark, was changed to Fort Dodge to avoid confusion. I guess there was another fort in Texas that was named Fort Clark.
Fort Dodge. Sounds like it belongs in Texas.
Mm-hmm. In 1853, the Army abandoned Fort Dodge, which led to William Williams, purchasing the property for the very next year. In 1869, the town of Fort Dodge was founded, with Stillman, George Ringland, and Webb Vincent forming Fort Dodge Plaster Mills. Oh, Vincent name.
1869, is that the year we went to the moon?
In 1872, the same year that Fort Dodge Plaster Mills were constructed, James and Adeline Swain built what is known today as the Vincent House. Adeline Swain spent a large portion of time in the house teaching higher education to women, as Adeline was the first woman in Iowa to fight for the rights of women. There were rooms in the house that were rented to travelers who were visiting Fort Dodge. During this period, the house was rented out for receptions, parties, and other types of events. With the assistance of A.H. Gus Hilton. Oh my God. Old money, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And Mary J. Loferschweiler.
My fave girl.
Love her famously. The Swains took an interest in spiritualism and communicating with the dead.
Wait, maybe for real.
Which Adeline Swain believed could help in furthering her cause of gender equality, allegedly. Due to this belief, seances were held in the third floor ballroom.
She sounds gay.
Yeah, happy Pride. In 1874, Adeline was elected state secretary. Her spiritualist friends helped plan and host her state convention, me.
Yeah.
Adeline soon found her way into the Greenback political party, which led to a lifetime membership and government meetings being held at the house.
Love.
After the death of James Swain in 1877, Adeline moved from the Fort Dodge. The house was sold to Webb and Catherine Vincent in 1879. Sections of the house were not finished, which resulted in Webb and Catherine's son, Donald, falling into the heating register and suffering a broken arm.
At least he didn't die. Unless he, dies the next day.
I don't know.
The arm immediately got infected.
And he is dead now.
Well, he is dead now.
He's been way dead. And now we're going to get into more recently. Dan Petraska has been the caretaker for the Vincent house for several years. He has experienced many encounters that have led him to believe that there are spirits in this home. There are some theories as to why there could be spirits attracted to the home, from the deaths that occurred there to the fact that the builders of the home, as previously mentioned, James and Adeline Swain, were members of the Spiritualist Society. According to Petraska, a psychic medium once visited the Vincent house. She said there were close to 25 spirits that reside in the home.
Ew, who?
James Swain is still here. Adeline is still here, he said.
What good answers.
Mm-hmm. Adding, the psychic medium said, when there are parties at the home or when someone is playing on the piano, the spirits will come to the staircase dressed in period clothing, just wanting to know what's going on. The two known deaths, Petraska said, are Helen Vincent, daughter of Webb Vincent, who had purchased the home from the Swains, and Charles Vincent, who, at the fall of the stock market in 1929, shot himself in the ballroom.
Damn.
It's giving, I don't know why, I'm getting Shining vibes from this.
Yeah. It's because, they're oh, what's going on over here? I feel like,
trapped in their time period, yeah.
But very aware.
Yeah.
They're not just, walking through walls. They're oh, what kind of shindig are you throwing?
Right. According to Petraska, Helen Vincent can be quite an active spirit. Quote, I was showing the house to a couple to be married. They were in the living room. I was in the dining room. All of a sudden, I heard them gasp. I turned around. All three of us saw this. We saw a little girl dressed in black. She ran around the piano, waved at us, and disappeared. I got chills.
Yeah.
There was another time Petraska said he believes Helen was present. This time it was during the Halloween tour. There was a group of people dressed in historical clothing impersonating the Vincent family, including a young girl portraying Helen. The last of the people were enjoying a late-night tour of the upstairs when a little girl walked by them and went back down the steps. Petraska said as they were cleaning up, he mentioned how good the little girl's performance of Helen was, and the group he was talking to asked what he was talking about. Come to find out, the little girl had gone home a few hours prior, and that was not her who walked by them during the tour.
Ew!
It hasn't just been Petraska who has experienced the potential entities in the home. One evening, one of the hostesses at the Vincent house could hear noises coming from the second floor. Whatever she was hearing was enough to make her want to leave. Petraska said when he showed up, she was standing down the block.
Me.
Literally you. He convinced her to come back into the home. They walked up the back staircase and found, in the children's room on the second floor, the hairbrush that usually sits on the dresser had been thrown onto the floor. He placed the hairbrush back on the dresser, turned off all the lights, locked the door, and then something caught his eye. Quote, "We no sooner got outside and one of the lights upstairs came on. I went back in, up the stairs to shut the lights off. I said, 'That is enough.' And the light has never come on back again since that night."
Damn.
As a little girl, he scolded her.
Yeah.
Lights turning on randomly still happen, however. Quote, "Lights will turn on. Sometimes you can see the chandelier twisting and turning."
Ugh.
He said, adding that he actually caught that action on film.
Oh my God.
When you are driving by the Vincent House at 824 3rd Avenue in Fort Dodge, be on the lookout. It has been said that sometimes you might see handprints form in the windows of the ballroom on the 3rd story.
Ew, why do these ghosts love doing handprints?
I mean, the little kid ghosts. It's like such
Yeah.
an indicator.
Yeah.
Because they don't care. I think like adults, we try not to touch glass because you don't want to leave handprints, and little kids, like, you know.
Right. Ew, what if you saw a face like mark pressed up against it?
I'm sure people have. Like, this seems super 25, bro.
That's a lot.
The little girl is really active. Like, this seems like her house. Helen, Vincent, this is like her house.
Yeah, which is weird. She purchased it, so when she died, she like went back to child
No, that
form?
was the Vincents who bought it, their kid.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, I love that there are witnesses too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wonder about the chandelier. Like, do you think the ghost is like swinging from the chandelier?
I don't know. Maybe it's just to show presence of like the power being able to
swing from the chandelier. From the chandelier.
That was me swinging as the ghost.
I do. She's like, I always wanted to do this, and like jumps off the balcony.
It might be her.
Was it my phone?
Uh-huh.
Where was it?
On the table.
Did I bump it?
I don't know. I'm getting spooky eyes.
So I have something to tell you. I'll tell you later.
Why? Oh my God. No. Oh my God. Okay.
Anyhoozle.
I wanted that, actually.
Thank you. I've been too connected to my phone lately.
You know what? And that was for the best. The investigation. In an attempt to help explain some of this paranormal activity, a group of investigators set up some of their equipment in the Vincent house recently.
Oh.
Leading the group was Jeanette I want to pronounce this correctly, Thanu Pacorn, a member of the Fort Dodge group called Researchers in Paranormal Phenomenon, or RIP for short. They only investigated for a few short hours, but what they experienced is making her want to go back for more. The group's first experience was a light turning on in the kitchen. Quote, "We were standing around the kitchen island, and we noticed the room got brighter.
Ew.
No one was near the light switch. In fact, I did not find that light switch until we went home that night. Somehow that light switch got flipped on, and that's a big deal. Movements and things like that seem to require a lot of energy." Although the group did not bring all of their equipment for the investigation, they brought some to set up, including recorders, or at least they tried to. Quote, "My brand new batteries kept going dead. That was pretty frustrating. Something was draining my batteries," she said. "I put a recorder on the piano and it went dead. Why? I don't know. But the recorder I was holding had the same new battery and it didn't go dead. It was still going strong, and the other devices with batteries from the same pack worked. But 3 batteries drained like nothing." This is a common phenomenon Thanu Pacorn said she has experienced in other investigations. While the group investigated the second floor, they went to the middle bedroom, where it is said indentations will appear on the bed, even after straightening out the bedding. Quote, "We smoothed out the bed, and when we came back, the depressions reappeared on the bed. Was it something? Is it an old mattress? We don't know." You know.
You know. What do you mean?
What the fuck do you mean?
Mattress.
You like smooth out some crispy sheets, and then there's like a ruffle in them. Like, oh God. Before the group headed up to the ballroom, Thanupakorn said she placed a recorder in one of the other second-floor bedrooms. She also decided to push a rod full of clothing that once belonged to the Vincents into the closet and shut the closet door. Later, when she was listening to her recorder, she picked up on a lot of audible movement.
You hear that too?
Mm-hmm. It's just better to not hear it, I think.
Yeah.
There's some bumps in the night going on. I don't even know what to say right now. My eyes are watering. What the fuck do you mean? So every time we take, this is real life, we're pulling out of the story. Every time we put our headphones on, there is an audible thumping noise, like coming, it seems like it's happening on a wall. And the second we take our, shift our headphone off of our ear to hear it, you can't hear it anymore. It's almost comical. Like you put it on and it goes, but it's not coming from the headphones. It's not happening now.
No, because it's off. And it even happened when, like, I just took my headphones off and you kept yours on.
Mm-hmm. What? Is it coming from the headphones?
Like, what would it be in the
Realistically.
headphones?
I'm crying.
No, because it's only happening every once in a while. It's not happening.
No, it's not happening right now.
Wow.
Okay, live ghost shit. Hate that.
Hate it.
Okay, so remember, she also decided to push the rod full of clothing that once belonged to the Vincents into the closet and shut the closet door. Later, when she was listening to her recorder, she picked up on a lot of audible movement. It wasn't just a sound from an old floor or creaking of an old house, but definite movement, and no one from her group was on the second floor during the recording. Thanupakorn said the first sound was a bump, and soon there was a movement, and then footsteps, then another bump, and more footsteps. It was several minutes later, and she could hear a noise. A noise, she said, sounded familiar. When I reopened the closet door and pulled the bar of clothes back out before we left, I remembered the noise it made, and that was what I heard on my recorder. I'm crying scary tears. How does this happen to me? I don't know how I find these scary as shit. I brief through it and I'm like, oh, this is kind of creepy.
So, but it was like in there still. So
it was like it replayed the sound of the. After she heard the sliding noise, Thanupakorn also heard on her recorder the sounds of breathing, and again some footsteps, and the sliding noise again.
It literally took it out
Mm-hmm.
and then put it back in.
Mm-hmm. Footsteps.
Why would it do that? If
It's
not
mocking
just
her.
to fuck, yeah.
Up in the ballroom, they were hoping to connect with the Charles Vincent, the suicide victim. 2 people in the group, including Thanupakorn, could hear music playing. The group used their equipment and started asking questions such as, "Can you tell us? Is anybody here?" They got nothing. Thanupakorn said they asked, "Charles, are you here?" Quote, all of a sudden, clear as a bell, we heard, "No," she said. We asked, "Can you touch this device?" "No," was heard again. They also heard some movements in the background, but the responses of no were not the scariest part that night. When we asked, who are we talking to? And then I asked, how many of there are you? Clear as a bell, it said, "Get out." We all heard it, she said. After that, part of the group heeded that warning and left. You.
Absolutely.
But 3 remained, including Thanupakorn, and they decided at that time to set up in the parlor. They asked if anyone was there to knock on something. I got 2 knocks, she said. I said, if that was you, can you do it again? 2 more knocks. The recorder also picked up a giggle. Was that Helen Vincent playing with the people again? Sanupicorn tried again to get someone to say who they were. I asked if Mr. Vincent was there, and we recorded the sound of a sigh of disgust, or like a clearing of the throat.
Ugh.
Petraska said he hopes these haunting tales do not deter people from coming to enjoy the Vincent house. Different people have experienced different things, but to my knowledge, they are a protective spirit of the house, a playful spirit, he said. I have been here 19 years. Yes, I have experienced things, but it doesn't really faze me. And that's everything.
It sounds like a great place to go for a tour.
Yeah.
And they do haunted tours.
The worst part to me was the little girl running past and the guy being like, oh my God, I love that she's committing to the bit.
Seriously. And that's that guy who's like the caretaker.
Yeah, Petraska.
Yeah, I feel like I don't love the investigation. It feels like the little girl is out and about for like the guy because they're like, you're taking care of our house, we love you. It did seem like not necessarily like aggressive or anything, but it definitely was like, you're not part of us for like the investigators, you know? I hate that the ghost took out the rolling rack and put it back in.
And that, like, the man who Charles, he shot himself.
Yeah.
He was the one to talk to them.
Yeah.
I hate the talking. The fact that she was like, I asked if anyone was here. 2 knocks. I said, was that you? 2 knocks again.
Yeah.
Like, quickly, he was responding.
Why would they put the rolling rack back in? Like,
if not just so you could hear it later.
Literally. Like, that's what I feel. It's like I think the problem is it's like they're too smart.
Or like the remnants of them living their lives.
Yeah, but they're like, I don't know. Like if you take it out, then it's like, oh, I moved her clothes and she wants it out. But to put it back in, man.
There was on the one website that I took the historical part of. I would like to go back because I remember there was. Is this it? No. Pause for searching. It's saying that the imprint of tragedies from the Adeline Swain's early seances may have created the storm of energy that remains in this house to this very day. Spend a night with us inside.
That would be wild.
I don't know.
We should do that.
Oh my God, I don't know. Dude,
oh my God.
We're the only people in the whole.
We should do that. That should be our Halloween episode.
We're the only people in the whole house.
Let's fucking do that.
It's a big house. Look it up.
I'm scared.
It's a big house. I'll show you.
Let's do it.
You are so brave.
Halloween 2024. Vincent
Guys,
house.
should we go to the Vincent house?
Comment below. Subscribe.
Dude, the energy radiating from the front of this bitch.
That is so true, though. 25. It makes sense that there's so many spirits there because she was doing seances. I forgot. Oh, and they said that they heard music, too.
That if you are standing by the piano, like you play a few notes on the piano.
But, like, the Thorn, the investigator, was like, we heard music. Oofda. I mean, it's beautiful.
Gorge, but the, like,
oh my
God, I'm getting, like, a sinking feeling.
We absolutely have to spend the night here. Oh, the inside's bad.
Tony,
pack up, baby.
Pack your bag. Oh my God, no. I don't know about that one. All that corn. Jeepers creepers.
Literally.
That might be Iowa.
So let us know.
What state is Jeepers creepers?
If you've ever been to Iowa and had a creepy event happen to you, write in at ghoulish@gmail.com.
If you've... Apparently it's set in Florida.
That makes sense.
I guess. Anyway, if you've ever experienced some sort of group haunting as well.
Yeah, or a dorm. Not everyone, but if you've been in a dorm or a dorm-like situation and have ever had an experience. I feel like college campuses are just always haunted because it's just so much.
Many people.
Yeah.
So much stress.
Yeah.
Lots of, you don't know who's up to what.
Yeah.
And places like Iowa, that's the entire town.
Right. So let us know. Ghoulbeanspodcast@gmail.com. DM us on Instagram.
And thank you guys for joining.
And spilling
the ghoul beans. Bye.